Hi everyone, welcome to Season 5, Episode 8a of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. Why A? I'll let you know in a minute, but just before we get into this episode, we've had a really good season, but the last month, the pressure has really told on the side. This is the last day of the League 2 season though. Have we managed to gain automatic promotion or not? Let's find out. Let's deal with Episode A to start off with. So, recently the channel hasn't been doing so well. The views have been down quite considerably and the subscriber count is always dropping off as well. Since I got my Loki Doki shout out a year ago, all that's happened in that year is pretty much every day I've lost another subscriber. It's about 330 something in 360 days, something like that. So I need to find a way to do something about it. I don't want my channel to die, and as I say, the viewing figures have dropped off dramatically too, so we need to change it. So one of the things I think is that my episodes are a bit too long and go into a bit too much detail for some people. So what we're going to do is we're going to split it a little bit. And the main episode, Episode A of these series, will have things like the pre-match tactics, the transfer dealings, the match day itself, all of those kinds of things, and that will be it. And then in Episode B, which will be only available in a link from Episode A in the description below Episode A, you'll be able to go through to that immediately, and in that we will deal with post-match analysis. We'll deep dive into analysis a bit more, but we'll also be attempting to put a few of those things into practice in that episode in the match tactics engine as well, to try and figure out how we can reshape the side a little bit considering what we've just seen. So that's what's going to happen in Episode B. So hopefully Episode A will normally be about 10 to 15 minutes. Episode B will be about 10 to 15 minutes maybe. If you enjoy the episodes that we've been putting out so far, it means you won't lose anything, but for those that just want a bit more of a condensed version, then they potentially get it, and the Episode A that we put out isn't as daunting to jump in on. So that's the plan. Please let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Would you watch an Episode B if that was how we're going to structure it? What's your thoughts on it? I really want to know, because I want to find a way to reinvigorate the channel slightly. It has been a little bit soul destroying over the last couple of months, just to watching it all just slowly decrease, and I want to do something about it. There'll be new series coming as well in the next few weeks, but there's just something about the episodes I think that we need to change as well. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But for today, we get Wrexham in the SkyBet League 2, and we have gained automatic promotion, but the last month has been really hard work. So we rotated the side in the FA Trophy semi-final against Scunthorpe and got absolutely dumped on, which is fine. I wasn't bothered about it at all. But that, plus the real pressure of figuring out how to get automatic promotion, meant that this group of players just absolutely could not buy a win. We got 4 draws in the next 5 matches. 3 of them 2-2 draws. And there's some bizarre results in there at times. I mean, we let in own goals, they let in own goals, sorry, should I say, and all sorts of things happened as we went through this. Aaron Hull has still been the star of the show all the way through the season, but other than him, we really struggled at the back to keep the ball out of the net, and it just it was really hard work. And to be honest, the only point in which we gained automatic promotion was in this 2-2 draw in the last match that we played against Newport, and I genuinely thought for a long time that we were going to go to the end of the season, the final day, and have to fight it out with Rochdale and Grimsby for that second and third spot. I genuinely thought that was going to happen. You can see that Southend eventually won the league at a bit of a canter. All power to them, they did great, but we just about, in the last couple of games, a couple of draws, managed to creep over the line. We had quite a big gap at one point, and it just kept slowly closing up, but eventually we managed it, and we have got promotion to League 1 from League 2 next season, which is amazing. We were predicted to finish in 19th position, remember, at the start of the season, and to finish in second is just ridiculous. But I always knew in the last couple of seasons through the transfer business that we've done that we were building a squad that was going to be able to take us a couple of divisions up from where we were a couple of years ago. And it's just borne fruit. That's proved to be the case. Now, I do think we've got quite a lot of work to do for next season for League 1. I think that's going to be another step up. And there's about half a dozen of this squad that are going to be leaving for all number of reasons. And we're going to have to rejig it again. But that's for a future date. For today, it's all about Wrexham. I think you'll find that they sit in about 18th position. Where are they? Yep, 18th position. Because we are up in second, maybe today is the perfect opportunity to turn this form around, get another win and get some momentum leading into next season in another higher division. So we've got a couple of issues for today's match. One is that Rossiter is suspended. He got sent off a game or two ago and he's got like a 3-match ban because of it. It was a bad challenge, so he's out. And we've also got D'Souza who's out today. He's just coming back from a bit of a knock. And there's just no reason to risk him. I don't want to cause him a problem for the summer and have him injured for half of it. I want to get a good rest and be ready for next season. So it means that for today's match against Wrexham, final day of the season, we've got Roberts in goal, Fink at right back, Devine at left back, Bowery and Whitmore in central defence, Bucock and Walker in central midfield, Wright Phillips on the right, Salam on the left, and Hull and McJanet up top, with a bench of Rogers, Dunlan, Silla, Williams, Knowles, Duke McKenna, and Ball. I couldn't remember who that was for a second. Anyway, let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I have gone in and suggested to them I expect to be winning today. We need to turn this form around and today is the day to do it. Just in the last game of this season in the SkyBet League 2. So Wrexham, 18th position. They're going to be tricky, of course. Everybody's tricky in their own way. But I really hope that we can perform well. Hull takes the long ball really well. Really fantastic ball on the floor all the way up to him. Holds it up nicely. McJanet takes over and does the same thing, supported by Walker down the left-hand side, and it's Devine who gets the cross in, but it's blocked, gets another chance, and then the goalkeeper comes out and claims it pretty well, really, in a big mess of people in the middle of the 6-yard box. He came and did very well, and he sent them on a good counter-attack opportunity, really, down the right-hand side. They've found their way all the way to the edge of the box, and Devine was in the way, but they still get the cross in, and Roberts has to tip over the bar, does he? No, he didn't have to make any contact with it in the end. It was a slightly wayward header that went over itself. But a bit of an opportunity there just to show that Wrexham are in this match if we're not careful. But there we are, 1-0 for ourselves after 10 minutes of the match. And it was a good worked throw-in down this right-hand side. Fink with the throw-in, gets into Wright Phillips, gets the ball back again, I think. There it goes back. And then brilliant cross in. And it's McJanet across the defender at the near post who gets there first and puts the ball in the back of the net. And that's what we've been missing recently, really. Some decent opportunities for us to score goals and then keep a clean sheet at the back. That is the key. It's something that we've struggled with all season, hasn't it, really? We've talked a number of times about the central defensive partnership not quite being right. And there is another demonstration of sometimes the quality that you can find in League 2. When the defence just sit off a little bit and give people space at the top of the area, they passed the ball around very nicely, opened up a little bit of space just there, and he takes a really great shot, and Roberts scrambles across but can't quite get to it. And after 11 minutes, so not long after we took the lead, Wrexham get us back again for a 1-1 scoreline. And again, it's Wrexham down the left-hand side. We got it partially cleared, but didn't get hold of it in midfield. And they've switched the play to the right for Lomas, and he drops it back. And the chance, whoa! What an amazing shot that was. This is what's been happening for the last month of the game. I'm telling you, it's just been ridiculous. Whatever we do, the opposition seem to find some worldy goals from out of nowhere at times. I mean, this is a good drop back, but why Salam hadn't followed his man back in from this left-hand wing position for us, I don't know. And we go 2-1 down after having been 1-0 up. And you can see that we've only had that one shot at goal so far. They've had 6 and 3 on target, so they're doing better in that area of the game. But the XG ratings are not very good, and it shows that they've got world-class goals out of not a lot, really. And we need to do something about it again, which is so disappointing. The last month, we've just fallen off a cliff, really. I mean, we did enough to survive and we did enough to get the promotion spot, which is fantastic. But the gameplay has been fairly ordinary. And again, they get a chance. But again, this time it's blocked. And Salam picks the ball, goes to McJanet, and he does really well to get the header on. Hull makes the most of it, gets a slightly longer shot than maybe he needed to take. I would have encroached on the goal a bit more. And then he puts the shot at the goalkeeper and he gets it away, really. So, yeah, 2-1 towards the end of the first half. It was nearly 3-1. But again, Hull is the man left up top to try and get some of these balls and hold on to them. He doesn't really manage it on that occasion. And it does go back through to the goalkeeper again, unfortunately. And he'll send it out to defence over the top, but there's nobody there. And there is the final whistle, is it? No, it's not the final whistle, the first half. They've got one more chance. And this time, he just did see the ball over the top of the bar again without having to touch it. But the goalkeeper was really scrambling. So we're going to have to thrash the arms about, tell them I'm not pleased. Can't rest on our laurels at all. We've got to find a way to turn this around. So we're going to go straight in and we're going to fire them up, having had a fairly ordinary first half in a lot of ways, and just see if we can do better in this second half. I suspect it's going to be quite difficult to do. I suspect it's going to drift a little bit, and it is 65 minutes already, so 20 minutes already gone. But we do get a highlight down the right hand side for Wright Phillips, drops it back to Bucock, the cross comes in, partially cleared, and they keep the ball in that defensive midfield area as well. Nicely done. We weren't quite on the attack enough in that midfield area to win that loose ball, unfortunately. We haven't been winning the loose balls for quite some time, but we get a good foot in there. McJanet eventually through to Hull, and a slightly weak shot from the absolute superstar of our show this season. 19 years old, I think he is. A fantastic prospect. Can we keep hold of him? That's the question. Along with a couple of the other players that are good young prospects. Can we keep hold of them? A couple of clubs are sniffing around some of our players, so we'll have to deal with that in the summer. But yeah, again, it's Wrexham on the ball, playing very nice football, sweeping it around in midfield and then sweeps it out to the far left-hand side. But Fink gets a good foot in. Wright Phillips back to the goalkeeper Roberts, takes his time, settles the play, goes long up to Hull. He doesn't win the first ball and they boot it clear, but we win it in our defensive unit. Eventually, Salam picks up the loose ball at 70 minutes we're in, so we'll be making some personnel changes soon. Walker takes over, nearly loses the ball. A good ball from Whitmore, though. And there is the absolute superstar of the show. 38 goals this season from Aaron Hull. And that is another really good finish from a very good long ball from Whitmore in the end. It gets dropped back to him from Walker here. First time, left-footed, lovely ball. Took it in his stride and put it in that near post area underneath the goalkeeper. And that is a classy finish. So we'll pause the game, go into the tactics, see who we need to basically remove for bad performance or from a little bit of fitness issues. We've got a bad central midfield. 6.3 for both of them, Bucock and Walker. We have got 2 direct replacements for them, so we could do that. But look around the side as well. Bowery again in that right-sided central defensive position, not performing well. That has been a real bad position all season long. And we've got Salam and Wright Phillips on a 6.4 as well. So I think we're going to leave the defence as it is just because it's the last day of the season. We're going to take out both central midfielders because I'm not happy with their performance. And then we've got one more that we can make on the attacking positions. And we're going to bring Knowles in for Wright Phillips and that on that right-hand side and go back in from there and just demand a little bit more from the players for the last sort of 15 minutes of the match and see if we can sneak out one more goal maybe to get the 3 points. It'd be a good comeback if we manage it. Silla on the ball, puts it through, but it doesn't quite make it. Divine picks up the loose ball, though, into Salam, gets it back again. Salam will pick up the loose ball, having a Divine cross being blocked. And he turns and runs at the defence, but they win it back. And they had a chance to turn really quickly and counter there. They didn't do it quite so much. They dropped back a little bit and took their time, but they've worked it nicely over to the left-hand side. Fink squares up again. He's performed really well on that right-hand side, Fink, on loan. Maybe we bring him back next season, maybe not. We'll find out. Hull into the box, and he crosses it in, but there's a whole host of players there, and eventually Wrexham get a chance to clear it. But Fink over the top for... Whoa! That is such an unfortunate disallowed goal. I think he moved too early and it was just a little bit offside maybe. Oh, that is so close. But what a finish that would have been from Hull. He is an absolute superstar, it must be said. And that's really unlucky. Millimetres offside. It's one of those in VAR where your toenails offside, it feels like. Salam picks up the loose ball there, having cleared the ball from our defensive unit. Silla takes over, but loses it in midfield. A quick counter-attack opportunity, but again, they've had to slow it down. We get enough people around there to make it difficult, but they do get a header, and they managed to miss it again. That's about the third or fourth header that they've had that's been over the top of the bar or wide of the post, and they could have had more goals through those opportunities definitely today. But Broadhead with a run for Wrexham down the left hand side. He's got a little bit of support backing him up on the edge of the box, and they do very nicely to work an opportunity, but eventually Divine gets a head in, nicely cushioned header to Salam, who runs pretty much the length of the pitch through to McJanet, and McJanet comes back from injury and eventually gets back on the score sheet. He's had a bit of a barren patch before his injury, and he's also had these weird issues of complaining about not playing in his preferred position even though he was, but that has subsided a little bit. Come back from his injury, has finally found the back of the net again, and we go 3-2 up with 4 minutes plus extra time to play. So we'll find out whether there's any more added time on. 91st minute and Wrexham get a throw, but again Divine is there to partially clear it. Again we lose the ball in midfield though, but they put an aimless ball in and get a bit lucky on the edge of the box again. There's some problems in our central midfield. Maybe if we move up a division to League One, we need to go back to 3-man central midfield maybe and 1 up top. Maybe it's something to think about for the summer and see if we can be a little bit more hard to beat. It's just written in the stars at the moment, isn't it, that we're going to draw matches. What on earth was the goalkeeper doing? He tried to narrow the angle, it felt like, for the cross, just at the point where they decided not to cross. What on earth was he doing way out there? He should have been right back on his line and covering that near post potentially a little bit better than he did. Is there an offside? There's not an offside. It's not going to be ruled out. And it was bad goalkeeping, unfortunately. And he's been really good for us. And again, we get a draw. We're going to have to get some wins next season, otherwise it's going to be a really hard season. But just the last month of football, it's been draw central, isn't it, really? Anyway, there we go. That's going to do it for us today, though. We got a draw. We got another point. Let's go through to the dressing room. We'll tell them that they were a bit unlucky, because I think we were in that last few seconds of the game. Although it was a bad bit of goalkeeping, wasn't it, really? And there is the table. 46 matches played, 82 points, which is great. 100 points for Southend. Fair play to them. They did great. Grimsby went up with us. And next season, we play League One football. Next episode, come back and join me for a brand new season. But remember, in the link in the description below, there is episode 8b. Go and check out episode 8b. It's going to be slightly different today just because we've reached the end of the season, but normally this is going to be analytical of what we've just done in the game that we've just played and all that kind of good stuff that we've already talked about. So go and check out episode B in the links in the description below. Go and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be part of my United City community. Join me on Twitter and Discord. Go and check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel that way. Click a like button on this particular episode. That helped me get seen by lots of other people. But overall, just keep coming back. Keep getting the views on this channel is all I'm asking at the moment, because we are suffering a little bit. So keep coming back. Come back next week and we'll be doing more Truro City in a new league, which is just ridiculous. How are we doing this? Anyway, join me for the next episode. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel and all that kind of good stuff. But take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.